October 7th. Mark Milam here, your mortgage professional with Highland Mortgage, coming to you with this week's interest rate summary and market update. Really a tale of 2 weeks. Got off to a great start earlier in the week, only to lose and give all that back on the last 3 business days. So we want kind of winding up where we started. Not a lot of change week over week, but a lot of volatility all inside that space. What's been going on? I'll give you a quick overview here. These are mortgage-backed securities over the past 5 business days. There's Monday and Tuesday. Looks like we're improving, headed for better pastures there. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we give it all back. End up the week just slightly worse than where we started the week. What's behind all this? Well, ultimately what's behind all this was this prevailing sentiment that the market had. This didn't come from the Fed, but it came from the market, that the Fed may do what's called pivot.
Here we go, pivot!
On their hikes, that they call it, that was their language for it, a pivot, in terms of we're going to slow the hikes because of what it's doing, not just to our economy, but what it's doing to the rest of the world's economies. And matter of fact, I'll show you a headline here. This is the UN calling on the Fed here to pivot.
Pivot!
Calling on other central banks to halt interest rate increases, because basically what we're doing is our dollar has become so strong that we're exporting inflation to other countries. So our dollar's strength has become other countries' weakness. And the last thing these other countries need, especially emerging markets, is for inflation to get even worse. Well, when they're buying and trading with the United States and our dollar is so strong and their currency is so weak, it's just exacerbating their inflation problem. So the UN calling on our federal bank, our central bank, to halt interest rate increases, to pivot their policy to prevent a global economic downturn. And while there was hope for that initially among investors, they were hoping for a Fed pivot that would come soon. This Fed president says not so fast, and that's exactly what they've all said. As a matter of fact, in the past 72 hours, I think we've had 4 or 5 different members of the Fed speak, and they're all saying the same thing, which is no.
Pivot! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
So, unfortunately, the market has reflected that sentiment that the Fed is not going to take their foot off the gas. They're going to continue to raise interest rates, and today did us no favors when we got a jobs report that came in a little hotter than expectations. And that's kind of funny to say that, hey, a good jobs report, a report that shows that we beat expectations in terms of job creation, would be a negative for the stock market. But let's take a quick look at what's going on in the stock market. And you can see the Dow Jones Industrial Average tumbling over 650 points now as we round out, getting close to 3:45 p.m. East Coast time. So 645 points down. This is because of a strong jobs report. So why would a strong jobs report, why would increasing wages and more jobs be bad for the stock market? Well, it's just pouring gasoline on that inflation fire. If we're creating more jobs, or people earning more income, people out there spending more money, then you've got a significant inflation problem. That's just the definition of inflation, is too much money chasing too few goods, and that's exactly what we're seeing. And until too much money chasing too few goods stops, we're going to have an inflation problem. And the Fed's biggest bullet in their gun is to continue to raise interest rates. That's exactly what they're going to do. Look for them on November the 2nd to raise the Fed funds rate by another 3/4 of a point, and likely to raise the Fed funds rate by another 1/2 point as we move into December and round out the end of the year. Wish I had better news in the short run, but unfortunately that is the state of affairs. If there's anything that I can help you with, please don't hesitate to reach out. Mark.Milam at highlandmtg.com. Have a good long weekend, everybody.